completely forgot about. They just reminded me this morning. I just can't get away from all these appointments. But anyway, I want to go ahead and get started this morning. I know there's no one on yet, but we need to discuss this because I've had several people hit me up wanting to know about a comment that I made in a video about veteran-owned businesses and doing business with large corporations. Now, with that being said, let's get started with this, all right? So, the Small Business Administration for the United States of America has a department that is dedicated to just helping service-disabled veterans and veteran-owned businesses, okay? So, you see these different acronyms, and a lot of people don't know what they mean, which is make sure I get it right, SCVOBD, which is Service-Connected and Veteran-Owned Small Business, and then you'll see one that says VOSB, which is Veteran-Owned Small Business, okay? A lot to say, mouthful, so it's SCVBD, VOSB. There's a lot to say. Anyway, okay, now as someone who has had 3 different contracts, I want to start with the beginning of this, okay? Because there's a lot that goes into it other than just saying, well, I own a business. Can I get a government contract because I own my own small business? Well, let's start with the premise of what is a small business, because different people have different ideas about what they call a small business. Now, with that being in mind, let me just start with qualifications and then I'll move into the business part of this, right? So to basically qualify is very easy. You need to be a service-connected veteran, and I'm talking about the SC side, the service-connected side, not just the veteran side. The veteran side, you being a veteran, okay, but regardless of what branch you served in, this is one side for you. There's another side over here for service-connected veterans who are small business owners, okay? Now, on this side is what I'm referring to first. You need to be service-connected for a disability. Either one or multiple, doesn't matter, but you need a service connection on this one. You need to be 51% owner of the company. All right, now if it's just you and you have the company, cool. It just doesn't matter. But if there's many people, right? Say there's an S corp and you got 7 people in the board. You need to be 51% owner of that company. That is a must, okay? Not only that, you must run the day-to-day operations and have all of the long-term goals for the company, because it has to be veteran-owned. 49% of that company can belong to whoever else. 51% of it has to belong to the veteran or a group of veterans. Okay, so if some of you guys got together and said, we're going to form this corporation, and it's going to be 3 of us, and we're going to split it all into that's fine. That works. As long as it's veteran, the majority is veteran-owned, it has to be that way. Okay? So those are some basic qualifications for this program. And basically what this program is in a nutshell, because someone's going to ask, back in 2003, the federal government, right, passed a bill. It's called the Veterans Benefit Act of 2003. You can Google it. They passed this bill, I think George Bush Jr. was the president, where they have these acquisitions that are set aside specifically for service-connected disabled veterans, right? It's specifically set aside. And we're talking about a lot of money, a lot of contracts. Some of these contracts you don't even bid on. Some of these contracts are just handed to some of these businesses that have whatever their specialty is for whatever the government may need. So say, for example, just using this as an example, let's say you have a business where you're selling bolts. You have a shop where you're selling parts, right? Well, the government may say, okay, we need 50,000 of whatever this is. They see you're in this index of veterans. They're going to procure you to take care of this order for 50,000 bolts. Bam, there you go. There's no need to even write a proposal, write a contract. Now, that's not in every situation, but there are some situations where veterans are just given contracts based upon the need of their business. I'm sorry, the need of the government. Okay? Now, with that being said, let's start with the basics, which is business. Now, as someone who's a former business owner, I'm going to tell you a lot of the stuff from my own experience when I originally signed up for CCRC, but now it's called SAM.org, and that's going to be in the next video, which is signing up. It's called SAM.org. Now, for those of you who are going to Google this information and look it up, pay attention to the website you go to, because the only websites you need to go to is SBA to start out with, and then SAM.org is the next one. There's going to be a ton of websites when you put this in that are just advertisements that are going to tell you, hey, I can register for you. All you got to do is pay me X amount of money. Or I can do this for you. All you got to do is pay me X amount of money. You don't need anybody to register for you, okay? If you competent at all, if you run, matter of fact, if you running a business at all, you should be competent enough to do this on your own. You should not need somebody unless you're extremely busy with your job. You know, you don't have time to do this. You're going to pay somebody to do it. I get that. But if you ain't doing nothing and you're sitting there trying to find work, you are competent enough to fill that out without paying somebody for it. It's just that simple to do. Okay. Now, for the people who are on TDIU, for the people who are on SSDI, I need y'all to listen to what I'm saying. Okay. I just said that you need to be 51% owner of the company. Not only that, you need to run day-to-day operations. Now, what does that mean for people who are on TDIU and SSDI? That basically means that you cannot be the person in charge. You can get with a group of people and let somebody else be in charge if you want to be part of it, but you, no. Not if you're going to keep your TDIU, not if you're going to keep your SSDI. Because running day-to-day operations means what? You're working. You can't be on TDIU with that type of job. You can't have SSDI with that kind of job. Now, you can be with a group. I'm going to repeat this. You can be with a group and you sitting in the background while somebody else runs it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because you're not hands-on every day doing operations, right? But if you think you're going to be 51% owner on TDIU or SSDI, you got another thing coming. We're talking about the government now. We're not talking about Joe Blow down the street who ain't going to pay attention to what's going on. No. We're talking about people you actually have to file to get a tax ID number, which leads me into business. Now, that word business gets thrown around a lot. A lot of people say, oh man, I got my own business. Oh yeah, what do you do? Oh, I sell shoes online. What's the name of your company? Oh, I ain't got no name. People just reach out to me. That ain't a business. That's a hustle. Understand the difference. When you're dealing with the government, when you're dealing with multi-million-dollar corporations, all your ducks need to be in a row. You cannot be in business if you don't even have a federal tax ID number. You don't even have a state tax ID number. You don't even have a sole proprietorship, an LLC, okay, an S Corp, a C Corp. You don't have none of this, but yet you're telling people you're in business. Now that may work on the streets, but when you're dealing with the federal government, when you're dealing with multi-million-dollar corporations, that don't fly. You're just a hustler. You're not in business. So that's the first thing I want to discuss with you guys is be a legitimate business. Because do you think a company like Boeing, Microsoft, RX are just going to go into business with you without checking your background, without looking at your books, without knowing every single thing about that company, before they sign a contract forming another LLC with you? You must be out of your mind if you believe that. Because they're going to do their due diligence even if you don't do yours. So do not come and try to register a company when you don't have none of that. Okay? You need to be a legitimate business that is registered with your state. You need to have the proper permits. If you, whatever business that you got, get the license for it. Get the insurance for it. Have a bank account. Keep that bank account strictly for business. Don't make the mistake I made, because I'm telling you all this from experience, where I was using my business account like I was using my personal account. I'm spending on stuff, and I'm like, the accountant asking me, what was discharge you at the grocery store for? Oh, I had to get something I forgot and pull out the wrong debit card. You got to pay that back. You understand what I'm saying? If you gonna be in business and call yourself a business owner, be serious about it. Treat it like a business. A business is a separate entity from the individual. You cannot mix both of them together. Can't do it. Can't do it. And pay your taxes, people. If you're in business, you got a federal tax ID number, use it. You got a state ID number, use it. You talking about the federal government here, the people that you're supposed to be paying taxes to. They go to look, how long you been in business? I've been in business 5 years. You've never paid any taxes. You don't have any business. So why would we give you an opportunity? You understand what I'm saying? You're in the big leagues when you're dealing with this. We're not talking about Willie down the street, car broke, and you can go fix it. And this is your shade tree mechanic business. We ain't talking about that, dude. You in the big leagues when you talking about dealing with this. Because you talking about serious money. We ain't talking about 20,000 here, 50,000. No. All this is 6 figures and above. So you in the big leagues when you're dealing with this. You may get a contract. It may be only for a year, and it may clear $500,000. It may clear 300,000. You have to be serious if you're gonna do this and understand the ramifications of what you're getting into. You can't come in this half-ass. Well, man, I ran this business for 10 years. No, you ran a hustle for 10 years. You didn't pay no taxes. Now, here's the other part. For those of you who currently have a business and you ducking taxes, that shit's gonna come back to bite you. It's gonna come back, especially if you're trying to do any of this, it's gonna come back to bite you. Not only is it gonna come back to bite you that you haven't paid your taxes, but when you get older and retire, or say something happens to you, you get hurt, you haven't been paying nothing to Social Security, you haven't been paying nothing in taxes to the state, nowhere. So you're not gonna get no help from nowhere because you paid nothing into the system. See, I understand, man. As somebody who's been around people that have done this, and all they're thinking about at the time is the money that's flowing in. It's the only thing they think about is the money. Until something happens, and then they got no resources to go to. You're not paying this money because they just want to take your money. You're paying this money to protect yourself because that is your one resource you can refer back to. All right? But hey, some people have to learn the hard way. That's why I'm harping on understand what a business is. Because if you're not going to run a legitimate business, there ain't no point you even trying this. None whatsoever. What's up? How you doing? Mr. Miles, what's going on with you? T-Mix, Barry. Let's see. Hey, Markel, I got 100% from the VA. I start working. It will be $4,500 a month after taxes. Do you think, that's comfortable to live on your own? Let's see. You got 100% from the VA and you start working. I don't know what you mean by you got a job as well as 100%? And then you say this would be $4,500 a month after taxes. So you got 100% plus you got 40. Oh yeah, you should be good with that. Because they're only going to take what? I don't know if you got kids or what, but 20% of your 4,500 is probably gonna go in taxes and everything else. So plus your 100%, yeah, you should be good with that. What's up, Howard? How you doing? This is a great topic. How does it work for disabled veterans who receive? Yeah, I just talked about that. For Social Security, do you know if a SSDI veteran can obtain an LLC? Is the veteran treated as a separate entity? Okay. Now, as I said, dude, if you on SSDI, and I tried to just cover this earlier, if you on SSDI, think about what you're trying to do and how does that affect Social Security. Because understand what SSDI is. SSDI means you told the government you can no longer work. That's what you said. That's what you agreed to when you filed those papers and said, okay, I can't work anymore. I need this money. This insurance that I've been paying, I need this money. When you go try to work, which you can work on SSDI. I don't want anybody to think that you can't. But the amount of money that you're making is limited to about what? $1,000 a month? I don't think you can make over $12,000 a year. That's it if you're going to be on SSDI. Unless you're going to do the other way, where you got a partnership and you just in the background. You got nothing to do with none of it. Okay? You, another person, 3 other people, 5 other people, whatever. You just part of the company, but you don't do nothing. You have nothing to do with any of the operations. You're not coming in. You're not doing any of that. You just sitting at home collecting the check. Then yeah, go for that. But if you trying to be the owner and get a government contract on SSDI, no, you got to give up SSDI because there's no way that's gonna fly. I can tell you that at the gate. That's not gonna fly. What's up, Mr. Man? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, now, because I got to bounce. That's why I came on early. I don't know why this thing is doing this. Okay, now, are there any questions about this part that I covered when it comes to business? Because this is very important. If you don't have a legitimate business, this is a waste of time for you. If you don't plan on starting a legitimate business, this is a waste of time. You cannot be somebody saying, man, you know, I've been running my little shoe business here for 10 years. Uncle Sam don't give a damn. Because unless you're going to pay back 10 years of taxes, all that means nothing. Right? You got to show how much you've been making. That's why you have spreadsheets. That's why these companies want to see your books. Have you been making money? How long you been in business? Because most companies, on average, in 5 years, really don't turn a profit till after that first year. They got to get established. That's what I'm saying. You've been in business 10 years, 20 years. You ain't even turned a profit. Time to give up and start over. Let me see. So basically, you can't have SSDI and be a business owner. As I said, if you want to be part of an ownership group where you in the background doing nothing, sure. But you can't be the man on SSDI. That ain't happening. What is going on with this thing? I'm using a different camera, phone, and I don't know what's going on with it. But anyway, yeah, you can't be 51%. That no. And I'm be on SSDI? No. I mean, think about what you're saying, dude. Think about what you're saying. In order for you to be 51% owner of the company, that means when the company lands a contract, say the contract is, I don't know, $250,000. You think Uncle Sam, which is already giving you a check for SSDI, you own this company now that's getting $250,000 from the government. Something's got to go. Unless you in the background doing nothing, then yeah, you good to go. You can take your money and do whatever you want and still collect that check because you ain't doing nothing. But you cannot be 51%. You cannot be the main guy. What's up? I was on my way to bed and seeing you guys live. What up, man? Yeah, I'm getting ready to bounce, man. I got an appointment they scheduled for me. They just told me about, and I can't get away from these damn appointments, bro. But I was just covering this, man, so you guys to know who wants to do this. You guys who still want to work. You guys who still want to look at retirement and improve your retirement income coming in. This is a great way to do it. You land 2 or 3 contracts, you get $500,000, $750,000. You should be good to go after that, okay? But you need to have a legitimate business. Do not go to the government, man, with some half-ass, some baked idea that ain't gonna work, because they're gonna shoot you down just as quick as you put that application in, or you fill out the paperwork to get registered with SAM. They're gonna send that shit right back. You never gonna get a call. Nobody's ever gonna reach out to you because you need to be legitimate. When they go to look up your company, you should have a tax ID number. Your information should be printed for the public to see when your company was started. That's why I'm telling you, you can't be Willie on the side of the street talking about I've been selling shoes, because every company that is formed in your state has their information published in a newspaper to let people know their company. It has to. That's the law. Well, at least that's the way it works in Arizona. I don't know how it works in every state when it comes to forming a business. But I do know that publicly you should be able to go look up when this business was established. So please, if you do not have a legitimate business, This ain't the series for you at all. All right. Any other questions? Because the next video I'm going to cover the SAM org, which is where you register. You don't need another company to register for you unless you're just extremely busy and you don't have time to do it. They can do it. And then I'm going to talk about the other requirements that's going to be required by the federal government. All right. Some things that you all can do to help yourself in the meanwhile. If you already have a business established, right? Make sure before you sign up and you start getting contacted by all these different contractors. And I'm saying, dude, I haven't been in business. How long has it been now? Almost 10 years. And I get emails from these same companies that are trying to get these government contracts at least twice, if not 3 times a week. I get hit up. And I hadn't been in business almost 10 years. Let me see if I can pull up one real quick. And it's from all kinds of people. Did I delete it? I might have deleted it. No. I get hit up all the time. All the freaking time. Here's one from a technology company in Georgia. Hit me up this morning, wanting to know if I would be interested in doing a contract with them for government services in Arizona. No. Simple answer, no. But once you get in, okay, this is the other thing I want to explain real quick before I go. Once you sign up, right, and you get into the system, the government system, you're going to get bombarded with emails. Some are going to be legit. A lot of them are going to be BS. A lot of them are companies looking to promote your business or do IT for you or do whatever they think you may need, right? Promote online and all that kind of crap. You got to weed through them, okay? Because I started out contacting everybody thinking that, oh, okay, all these are contracts. And then my cousin was like, hell no, dude, these dudes are just trying to get you to spend money with them. Don't hire none of these people. So I had to learn. There's a learning curve. And they do have classes that they offer for veterans. They got one that's called Boots to Business. It's a class that they offer through SBA. There's a lot of different things that they offer through SBA to help veterans succeed when it comes to this. But I will tell you the number one people who need to apply for this, and I don't know why the screen is dark, the number one people who need to apply for this, women. Minority females, Hispanic, African American, especially Native American. Man, if you know a Native American woman, she got her own business, make her sign up for the government for veteran-owned business services. Please make her sign up. You know African American women or Latino women who are veterans, bro, they dying to get those people work. They dying to get them contracts. So there's a few women out there that is doing it, but they're not sharing the knowledge with other females, letting them know so they can get a piece of the pie. Okay? But if you know a woman that's a veteran and she got her own business, you need to tell her about this program. Let her look it up on the SBA's website. Let's see. Talking to Love and Freedom. Can you explain what you mean by getting government contracts for your business? The government has contracts that are set aside specifically for veteran-owned businesses. All right. They start out as being competitive. So if you got a company, like I said, it depends on what your company is and what the government may need. By law, the government has to procure a certain amount of contracts I'm never using this thing again, just for veteran-owned businesses. Okay. And that's what I mean by contracts. Okay, I'm giving you another example. My cousin has a contract right now with a pharmaceutical company, and they formed that contract because the government needed, I forgot how many latex gloves, because my cousin does supply. So the government needed, I don't know how many. It was a large enough number to be a couple $1 million. So he had to find someone to supply all these damn latex gloves, right? In order to win that contract. they ended up landing that contract. Now, I don't want you guys to go in this thinking, okay, I'm just gonna get all these contracts. No, there's competition there. There's ways that you have to do things, and I'm going to explain that in later videos, where you have to make yourself stand out over other people. Like for me, when I got my contract in Phoenix, I would go talk to those people. I went to the main hospital and talked to the head guy there and told him, hey man, I got this, I'm doing this stuff with the government. I'm trying to get these contracts. I just want an opportunity. And I would talk to them every appointment that I went down there, and they gave me an opportunity. I landed 3 contracts with them. Now, some contracts aren't that big. The smallest contract I've ever heard of was $125,000. I don't know what it was for, but that was the smallest contract I heard of. Most of these contracts are 6 figures, larger than that. So when you do get in, don't screw it up. That's the other thing I'm saying. Don't blow it. This is your golden opportunity to show what you can do. That's why when you get in business, be sure you get in business for something you can actually do, something you can actually handle. Don't go into business, I'm gonna be an engineer, and you don't know the first thing about being an engineer. Okay? Do things you can actually deliver on. Let's see, can you own a business, but the key word is income? The government doesn't tax asset. That's why rich don't pay taxes. Learn the tax code. You're right about that. There's ways to get around it. They find if you got a good enough accountant, they find ways to get around it. The whole income and asset differential. What do you mean? Income is income that you have coming in from whatever source. Assets are things that you own. If you own a home or your business, you have the property you own for your business. That's an asset. You have vehicles out front. Those are assets. I don't quite understand where you're going with that, but that's the difference. Income is what you have coming in. You did a job, that job paid whatever amount, that's the income from that job minus taxes and expenses. That's your income. Assets are things that you own or the business own. $1 a year, he owns assets. Yeah. Let's see. VA appointments and night, those meds caught up to me. Okay. Okay, this is making sense. I got you. I'm gonna look into this for sure. Okay. Great information. Thanks for what you do. It's all good, man. All I'm trying to do, man, people in the right direction. Here is a business. That's why I'm stressing this, man. If you like to cut corners, this ain't gonna be for you, because all this needs to be in a row, bro, because they're gonna check. That's why I'm harping on this, and I started with this first. If you don't have the business side together, there ain't no point in you even trying this. You out there, you got your business debit card from Chase, you up in the casino, yeah, that ain't gonna work out too well. Especially when you trying to land these huge contracts, and they looking at this going, okay, we send you half the money to fulfill this contract, but you in the casino. No, that ain't gonna fly. What the hell? Yeah, I ain't using this thing no more. I'm not using this no more. Let's see. Have you covered VA? I've covered a little. I haven't covered everything about VA pensions. I could probably do that. What's today? Monday. I usually don't come back on until Thursday, so I can go over information about VA pensions on Thursday. Let's see. Do you think it's worth giving up? No, I can't answer that for you. No. Look, going in business is not a guarantee. There's no guarantees in life. I can't tell you, yeah, I guarantee you're gonna get this amount of money, or you're gonna get no. Hell no. I couldn't guarantee that. You gotta make that decision. All right, you got to look at it. Is it worth it to you? Because honestly, you got to look at it like this. If you're truly disabled, this ain't even a question. Because I could go out tomorrow, leave, go back to Phoenix, go with my cousin and start up my own thing again if I thought I could do it. But knowing how I physically am, there's no way in hell. No way. I just know I can't. Hell, it took 40 minutes just to get out of bed this morning. I already know there ain't no way I could do it. No way. But it doesn't hurt to give somebody else the knowledge to learn how to do this. to improve their situation or their families' situation. So giving out information doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. But I'm just going to tell you like this, bro. If you are legitimately disabled, think about it before you give up something, trying to pursue something else, because you need to establish a business first. Once you establish a business, then you register, then you do all these other things. But there's no guarantee you're going to get a contract right away. It may take 10 years, 12 years before you get a contract. There's no guarantee with that. Nobody can guarantee you that. Not unless you got some inside help. You got contacts that can help you get to land this contract quicker, but there's no guarantees. Can you also cover bad discharges or how to upgrade a discharge for those give up and feel discouraged and give up trying for benefits? I had a few vets ask me about this. Yeah, you gotta start in Missouri. I forgot the name of that. What's the name of that? But there's a way to get your records corrected or expunged. So there's a way to do it, and you can actually go to the VA to get help with that. You go down to Compton Pen and let them know, and they can help you fill out the forms for that. But yeah, I'll do a video on it. Let's see. Can you own a real estate company, own property, don't pay yourself an income, pay your spouse as your assistant? She gets an income, files taxes, 401k, pays Social Security, etc. Okay, so you're saying it's like a rental property, right? Or are you saying you're a real estate company? You own property. Okay, got it. Don't pay yourself an income. Got it. You paying to your spouse, but that's still part of your, well, it all depends on how you file taxes. So obviously with this setup, you're paying them individually. She does her own taxes and you do your own taxes, because as a couple, what you're saying here wouldn't matter. So I'm saying you're paying individual taxes. She gets an income, files taxes, 401k, pays Social Security, etc. Yep, you got it, John. Yeah, in that situation, yes. But I'm not trying to get you guys to set up anything that potentially could cause you a problem. That's why I was trying to explain that in the beginning with 51% ownership to you people on TDIU and to you people on SSDI. Think real hard, look at your whole situation and see if there's something you want to get involved in. Because the only other way I see you doing that without it being an issue for anything else is to be partners with other veterans. And one of those veterans got to run the day-to-day while you just in the background. That's the only other way I see it getting done. Because if you're trying to be number one, 51% owner and do that with the government, that ain't going to fly. Because you got to remember, this is the government's program. And don't think the government is not going to check you out. You talking about a lot of money here that the government is potentially going to pay out. They ain't going to just give it to anybody. All right, guys. Are there any other questions before I bounce? Biden is trying to have IRS and bank accounts, so side hustles ain't going to live on anyways. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. Yeah, I don't know what to tell people that's been doing it that way, but I can tell y'all, damn, see going there. I can tell y'all this. Shit. I can tell you guys this. Look, you have to be legitimate. You need to be a legitimate company. If you are not a legitimate company operating legitimately, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. I can't stress that part enough. That's why I started with the base part of a business. You have to be a legitimate business. Look, I can tell you as someone has seen thousands of dollars run through my account, hundreds of thousands of dollars run through my account. And you go back at the end of the year and you look at your account, you go, man, where did all this money go? Because I don't have this much in my account. Taxes, expenses, parts, or whatever your business is. Because you got money coming in as it's going out, funneling out, right? That's why you have a bookkeeper or an accountant to keep up with all that stuff. But it needs to be legit. Because I know how tempting it is, dude. You just got a $25,000 check. Uncle Sam wants whatever, 15, 20% of it. You ain't trying to get that up. You did all the work. Why am I giving them 15 to 20% of the money I just got? You're giving it to them because if you go out there and you get jacked up in a car accident, you get jacked up at work, you get sick, you have a stroke, aneurysm, that's protection you got. At least you'll have that coming in if you got nothing else. That's why you pay it. That's the one thing you got to remember when you're paying these taxes, when you're paying these Social Security benefits. That's exactly what it is, benefits. Because if something goes wrong, because nobody can predict the future, you don't know what's going to happen. That is why you pay those things. And when you don't pay them and something happens, you find yourself in a tough spot. And now you got to depend on other people to try to help you. So I'm telling you, as somebody who's been through this, as somebody that didn't want to listen to this part, as someone who had a business mentor, you have to take care of the bottom line first before you can move to the next step. If you don't take care of this part first, all that other stuff is just a pipe dream, because they're never going to take you serious if you don't take yourself serious. Any other questions at this point? Thanks for the info as always. You come through with the scoop for us. We appreciate you, brother. Hope your appointment goes well then. Yeah. Yeah, because they should be downstairs here. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody watching as always. On Thursday, I'll talk about VA pensions. And the next week, I'll go to the second part of this, which is registering with SAM and getting with SBA. And some of you guys who are thinking about doing Boots to Business, the entrepreneur training. All right, guys. So until then,